Alright, my best of friends, welcome back to Art Fundamentals, artwod Roadmap. I tried doing ASMR, it's not working. Hello everybody, today we're going to be sucking our dicks. Right, emphasis on the s, the plural aspect. But yeah, no, welcome back. Artwod Roadmap, beginner roadmap, fundamentals, grind node, right? Rotate the following shapes, or rotate the forms, maintaining the horizon line placement as well as the placement of the form you are drawing. Extremely difficult. Draw along with me. If you are confused as to what I mean, this is what I mean, right? Except in the example given by the grind node on artwod, ARTWOD, link in description. I'm not affiliated. One day they fucking will affiliate me, hopefully, for the love of God, or strike this channel, and all of my 180 videos so far will go to shit. So we'll see how that goes. But if they have half a brain cell, they'd understand that I'm literally showcasing that their practices work. But yeah, it's just this. Horizon lines in the middle, horizon lines at the top, but more skewed, right? Much more convergence, right? You see less of the top plane and the bottom, and then this one is not part of it. This is an extra one I added, just to do the middle part of the horizon line again, or the middle horizon line again, because I struggle with that. This is very difficult. Like, you have to keep that shit in place. Like, it has to stay in the exact same spot while you rotate it. You essentially have to maintain the view of the plane as you rotate, right? So much more difficult than initially let on. Obviously, I'm making this even harder for me by creating contour manipulated shapes, right? Manipulating the actual box to have an elliptical or box, essentially square, plane, cutout, addition, or subtraction, right? But yeah, do this with me. Draw along, call to action, draw along, practice your fundamentals, right? It is not boring, it is difficult, which is why your mind is probably shying away from it. But that's why, as I always say, focus on the effort that you put in, and that's all that matters, right? Do your best to not make mistakes, but inevitably when you do, look forward to those mistakes and feel good from that. It's just two things, guys. As long as you keep reinforcing, and girl, but as long as you keep reinforcing those two things to yourself, right? That you're trying your best to not make mistakes, but you will make mistakes and look forward to them, and you tell yourself this is a good thing, i.e., derive pleasure, and you focus on the effort, and you derive pleasure from the effort that you put in, and that's all that matters, right? This is literally scientifically proven to quote unquote enjoy the fucking process, and it improves your learning. It literally improves your error recognition and correction pathways, right? Especially the part where you focus on not making errors, but you make a lot of errors, right? Like, you don't intentionally make shitty errors, but you unintentionally make a lot of errors, by proxy of just doing the fucking thing. But yeah, let's get started. This is, again, all of these on the left side are basically in 1 point perspective. So and another thing I want to make more difficult for myself is I want to try remembering the shape, so I don't have to refer to I don't have to refer to this little view as much as I should have. And again, proportion is obviously another thing, so we'll see if I can remember it. Honestly, this is very difficult, right? So we will see if I can genuinely remember this. Make this a cutout here, make this a cutout here, right? Diagonal cutouts. Then again, horizontal line, what the fuck am I saying? Horizon line. I'm turning into my girlfriend. She calls it the horizontal line because when she was practicing this in the beginning, it's just very cute. It's just, I'm nothing against it. It's just fucking adorable. The horizontal line, little retard. Anyways, and again, to make it symmetrical and consistent, we will focus on, there you go, just half an ellipse. Could have been a bit better, but this is where we need to focus, right? So if vanishing point's there, should be roughly something like that, right? Something like that. So that is the front view with the horizon line in the middle. So the thing is, you really, really, really have to focus. And this is me explaining out loud for myself as well, right? But you really have to fucking focus on the horizon line being in the middle, right? So it is genuinely very difficult, because you have to think about it in the way that, okay, now we have two, and you also have to remember the placement of the vanishing points in relation to the horizon line as well, right? So that is another extremely difficult thing. Proportions, of course, are already taking a fucking hit. Okay. Right, let's try to keep proportions relatively in mind as we do this. Well, this is the best part about this this practice, is that whether you want it to or not, it will make your spatial reasoning and understanding a lot better, right? It literally just will, because, okay, again, like, this is a wide convergence and this is a narrow convergence, so that's another thing we have to keep in mind. Right. And then same thing here, we have something along the lines of, and again, this is extremely difficult. Remember, you're thinking about all the vanishing points, so do not do not worry if it is something that you're spending a lot more time than I am. Like, again, I'm really trying to embody the mindset that don't draw faster than you can think, right? Because it's true. What is the point in drawing faster than we can think? Okay, so we've rotated it a little bit, right? That's good. That's not bad. And now we want, again, the other thing I want to try to keep in mind is the fact that A, I want it to be on the same ground plane, so we have to keep that in mind. But B, I want the variety, the ratio of the rotation to be notable enough that you notice it's a rotation in this direction, right, on the horizon, but not so drastic that it seems like it is in a completely different position, if that makes sense. Because now this is converging a decent amount more, right? And again, I have to think about the plane and how it is positioned. Again, horizon lines are right there, so see, so we're seeing more of the left side because this convergence on the left vanishing point is becoming wider, right? So we see, and this is becoming narrower, so we see more of this side and we see less of this side. Now, whether I'm doing it very correctly is to be determined. It feels as if this could be a lot narrower, this right side. And again, I'm trying to make sure proportions are adding up relatively. Right? We want to make sure that we're still going towards the horizon line. Right, this has to be aligned with that. Same thing here. This is, okay, we're seeing more of this now, so Same thing here, we're seeing more of this. Maybe that's a bit too subtle. That's a bit too subtle. But I do think I'm following the example much better provided. So yeah, this is very difficult. You see, this is very, very, very difficult. Okay, now we have a much wider convergence. And I think I'm hopefully doing a better job with proportion and maintaining the placement, right? Because if that's where it is, then it's something like that. See, and again, this is what the horizon line is, so we do need to hopefully make sure it all makes sense. I think I'm probably messing this up a little. That doesn't seem to make much sense to me. I feel as if that is not narrow enough of a convergence. And it's a bit small. You see how I have this tendency, again, it's like this big, slightly smaller, that's slightly smaller too. And maintaining that proportion, that size, is obviously a huge part of it as well, right? Oh, like that's completely wrong. This should have been something like that, a bit more tilted. This is okay. Could have been a lot better, I think, but okay. And then still following the example provided. It's actually a lot more subtle now for some reason in the example provided specifically, but we'll see. This is more something like this. Yeah, right? Okay, and then we have the box. It's literally, that's what the horizon line is. It's okay, something like that, hopefully. And then see, that's a much wider convergence. It's really difficult to think about everything that's happening, right? Very difficult. And again, it's getting so small. It's literally getting so small. So I need to figure out why that is. It's genuinely just getting smaller and smaller. This is a proportion issue for sure. Well, because this top part could have been much bigger. I made it way too small. Yeah, see, this could have been much larger. Okay. And I believe if I were to just have it facing head on, it would be something like Like this. This is so fucking dumb. What? This is honestly a waste. Yeah. Okay, and then we can try again. So now we know that these more extreme angles result in a proportion distortion. Right, try saying that 3 times fast. But actually, that's not even that difficult. Proportion distortion. Okay, never mind. I take it back. Oop. Okay, and then yeah, this needs to be much larger, right? Hopefully, I am doing this relatively correctly. Okay, so it's something like this. I think I'm losing it. Again. This has to be a bit more converging. Damn, this is extremely difficult. Something... I don't know. This just doesn't feel right. Or it might literally just be because it's working my brain a lot. Right? But proportions are definitely being affected. Like look at especially how this one got so much smaller. So I gotta figure that out. But let me rest my brain for the time being, and please do the same. Anyways. Yeah, I think thinking about the overall size is also important. Right? Like this one should have been much larger, I believe. This right here. It's just, it was so subtle in how much smaller I was making it. Like these two are the same size, but this is probably still too small. And what else? Just trying to think out loud. I hope they all look like they're on the same plane. I believe they do, but again, proportions is huge. Okay, anyways. Let's let's move on to the next one. What the fuck? That took me 20 minutes? Holy shit. Oh well. At the very least, I'm taking my time. But now we have the horizon lines at the top. So, okay, but I need to figure out what caused this. Okay, well, this is obviously much shorter here. It is definitely this. It's much smaller. And this should have been much longer too. Or at least slightly longer. And look, I made this a little too small immediately. So these two are definitely decent. For sure. Perhaps it's more of an intuition thing. Trying to keep the proportion in mind, but either way. Let's keep going. Not as drastic as a convergence. And I guess what else can I do? I can do this. This way, this should hopefully force me to think more about. Yeah, a box cutout is definitely going to help me think more about the actual convergences occurring. And as always, we could just have an elliptical cut out over here. Right, try to keep it simple, but I guess quote unquote complex enough that it requires a lot of thinking. Okay, so already I should just start with something like that, right? Hopefully. I already think I got the angle a bit wrong. Right, but let's keep going. Okay, what about this is already wrong? Well, now I'm looking at it from a different angle, right? It's not being rotated on the same plane. That's an issue. Let's see if we can fix that over here. Okay, I think that this one's a bit better. Yeah, I think this one's definitely a bit better. Oh yeah, I think this one's definitely a bit better. So it is a bit of intuition, I feel like. At least in terms of thinking about it. Right? Personally, at least for me, that's how it feels, is that it's intuition and understanding how this will move across that same plane. I think, honestly, what it is, I feel like what it should be, is perhaps establishing that this thing is kind of anchored to a certain point and then just moving it alongside that perspective while keeping the horizon line in mind. I don't know if that makes too much sense. Probably doesn't make any fucking sense, let's be real. But this is already, I think you can tell that this, if we just take this out, we can tell that this is being hopefully rotated on the same plane, right? And then again, this is slightly larger now. But these proportions do not change. That's the main thing, that these proportions do not change. And I'm trying my best to visualize this as well, because I don't think I've been doing enough of that at all as of late. And again, let's try to do this from memory, right? In terms of the shape itself. Let's see, how does that look? Oh, something about this. It shouldn't have been this drastic of an angle. This one, this right here, should have been more of a wide angle, more obtuse, not acute, right? which is good. The fact that I can slowly recognize that is actually also very important, right? I guess we can have just the front. Don't want to make it too drastic, but might as well just. It's gonna be slightly longer, right? Make sure the proportions are as they are. Yeah, genuinely a very, very, very good exercise for spatial reasoning, of course. Now we just need to think, okay, how does that look when it's turned over on the same plane? Is that a bit better? Maybe. I think it's a little bit better. So maybe this is a bit too small though. I think I made this shape. This could have been this could have been longer right here. So now we know that the length is a bit too short. Okay, so this one's genuinely smaller. But does it look like it's on the same plane? Like compared to this, right? Possibly. Still a bit too drastic, I would like to think, but it's all based on this, right? I think that's a bit better. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Cool, just about made it in the spacing. Almost forgot the. Okay, this and okay. So which ones feel like they're on the same plane? This one does. This one does. Maybe this one and this one does, right? So, but proportion again. Proportion's a huge issue. But I'm trying to visualize it. So, I'm hoping to myself that I didn't speed through this too much. I was trying to find a balance between visualizing and applying and understanding and ejaculating. Well, the fourth I do on a constant basis, but it's all about the effort, as I say. It's all about the effort, right? That you derive pleasure from. And trust me, there's lots of pleasure. But, okay. Alright, cool. This was probably going to take me a bit longer. I don't know if I can finish this in an hour, and I don't care if I do or not. I want to make sure I understand this. I think slowly but surely, I'm getting a decent understanding, so that's what matters. But yeah, let me rest my brain. And I encourage you to do the same. Fucking same shit all over again. Just rest your brain, please. It's very good for you. But yeah, if you want your spatial reasoning to be genuinely challenged, this is an incredible exercise. All right, let's see. Now this one's even of a even wider convergence, right? So I need to respect that. Could just do roughly the same thing. Let's see. Let's make it actually a bit more annoying for me. just to piss me off, to be honest. I do gotta work on my lines. My lines have been taking a hit. So it's best that I make sure to keep that in mind as well. Again, always trying to do my best to visualize no matter what. Right? Okay. And again, let's just for shits, make it more difficult, right? Okay, cool. Now I really got to think about this. So I'm going to try to explain this to myself and hopefully you, right? My understanding is if we want it to look like it is on the same plane, we have to keep in mind the degree of this L shape, technically, right? Like this X, what is this, the fucking X and Y axis, right? I think Z is the vertical, I don't fucking know, but oh god, I shouldn't have had this tea. My mom's right. the fucking milk went bad and I was like, ah, fuck it. And now my stomach feels off. But I don't want to waste. It's too late, whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna drink this. I'm gonna just have something else. Complete tangent. Anyways, it's essentially the narrower the plane, the more of the top we see, right? How can I explain this? I guess I can draw on the back of this because the video's already gone out. But seeing something like this versus seeing something like this, you see how we see more of the top of this plane than this plane compared to the horizon line? So I think, honestly, it makes complete sense. I believe the same principle to keep in mind applies here as well, just on a more complicated scale, right? And of course, I made it more complicated for myself, but if that is what it is, right, we have to keep that in mind, that degree in mind, even while we are drawing harsher, because again, like technically right now we're only supposed to see the side of this, but that means, yeah, see, this should be a much wider, I see, okay, it's a convergence that is very minimal, right? So we also have to keep in mind the vanishing point. So let's say, right, it's like this. Let's just say, there you go. The mistake I made last time is I had to converge very drastically, but you see how this convergence is more minimal, right? And then, so basically always one of them, at least in this extreme angle, right, where we're not seeing much of the top plane, should have a much wider degree of convergence, is what makes sense to me, right? Something like this. Even this, I think, could have been a bit better. But I believe this does hold true, right? Because if we put it to the test, like I am now, at the very least, we should be much closer to creating the intended effect. of the rotation, but also yeah, see, that 100% looks like they're much more on the same plane and being rotated on the same axis, essentially, right? Which is essentially what we're looking for. So there's a tip for any of you who are struggling with this, just like I was, which is think about like if you want to make sure that it is on the same plane, and think about the axes that it's being rotated on, and think about the degree in which both lines are converging. You know, does one need to be more converged than the other, right? Do they both need to converge drastically if we're looking more at the top? In this one, yeah, we're looking more at the top, but it shouldn't have been this drastic. But you see, this is how basically it's a perfect L, but it should have been a bit more of an obtuse angle. There you go. Yeah, that definitely looks like it's being much more, yeah. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So, nice. We're slowly figuring it out. And again, I think language is the biggest thing that's helping me. Language, right? Which is the fact that thinking out loud and explaining this to myself is a huge help. See, and now we want, again, this very wide. And of course, visualizing this is also equally important. Now here we can, because this is already a very wide angle, we have the liberty to make this a bit less wide and still hopefully retain the angle, right? It's okay, hopefully, if it's not perfect, but we are trying to retain the angle, right? Okay, I think this one could have been a bit wider. I think my proportions are suffering. I made this too short. Yeah, I made this way too short, even compared to this one to that. Okay, but I'll fix that next one. So it's good. It's good that I can take hold of this and ensure my proportions have accuracy. Right now, of course, I didn't ensure they have accuracy, but the point is I can, right? Being able to notice these things are also very important. But yeah, I hope that explanation helped anybody who's listening or watching even still at this point. But that makes a lot of sense to me. And yes, my lines are wonky, right? So even I am not infallible, fellow reader. Reader, what the fuck, watcher. I'm not infallible, but I am perfect. Okay. Yes, see? Wonderful. It does look like it's being rotated on the same plane. That is amazing. Okay, now this is going to be a very wide convergence. That fucking song is stuck in my head. There it is. See, that's much better in terms of the girth. The girth. What is it? Golden? Again, I just recently watched K-pop Demon Hunters with my girlfriend. We both agreed, again, art animation is spectacular, don't get me wrong. I would rewatch a lot of it just to look at the still frames. But, I mean, it's a pretty mid story. It's a pretty fucking mid story, right? It's, I don't know why I'm saying right. Nobody's gonna agree with me because I've seen nothing but positive sentiments. Even somebody was like, I think it's overrated. I saw on Reddit, someone was like, I don't know, I think it's okay. And all the comments were like, you're wrong. I was like, what the fuck? What happened to you know, good neutral friendly dissent? Not in this day and age, bitch. But see, it's the same shit as this, right? Maintaining that angle. But I mean, I liked it. I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong. I just didn't think it was the second coming, literally, of Christ. Like, I wasn't nutting over it. I was like, okay, this is entertaining. The jokes were kind of funny. Not really. I feel as if it has a lot of that Reddit humor that people like, the lol xd humor. Like when they're eating their food, they're like, oh, yum 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 yum, and it's like, look at them with the funny noises and the funny faces. They are attractive K-pop stars. So when they do this, it's like, right? It's an animated series, of course, but either way, good-looking animated characters. But yeah, I thought it was. I mean, it was enjoyable. I really liked the art style. I thought it was decent. Some shit just didn't make sense to me. Like the guy was hot, and suddenly they have a connection. Like the people who were shipping them, and by people I mean I just saw, because I really like that song, "Your Idol." I really like that song. But I remember in like the comments, some people were like, dude, like it was the most basic romance plot. This man's like, I'm the only one who understands you. Like you're just some random demon. Your backstory, you just gave the verbal exposition multiple times, let it be known. The verbal exposition was given multiple times for some reason, right? And just kept flashing back to the fact that I guess he. Oh, but spoilers alert, by the way. Spoiler alert, Jesus. I gotta make sure I don't spoil people. Even though anybody who's watching this, it could be it's already out, but obviously I don't want to spoil. I never want to spoil. I hate it when people spoil me on shit, so I would like to give back the same courtesy. But I guess I'll be as vague as possible. Right, he made a choice. Like the whole thing is, oh, he did a thing, and it's like, oh my god, he did a thing. It's such a bad thing. Oh, we should feel bad for him. This is too big actually now. But it's like, should we really give a shit? It's so colorful, it's so bright, and some of the voice acting has very little emotion. In some cases it works, but when he's giving his backstory, he's like, this happened. And then it happened. And I'm like am I supposed to feel something? But on the comments of YouTube, of course everyone's like, oh, it's so sad. He's so handsome, so sad. It's so sad because he's so handsome, it's so sad. And I'm like, I'm handsome, nobody ever feels bad for me, what the fuck? It's true though, I'm extremely attractive. I make my mother swoon all the time. She's like, oh, my son, I did good with my genetics. I'm like, what the fuck, it's me, what are you on about? It's not you. But either way. Okay. Oh man, I would have loved to fit another, but I made this too small and this too big. So, and the lines don't help either. But I guess we can just have the slightest bit of convergence. Well, what did I mess up here is the real question, right? I fucked something up here. Perhaps we shouldn't have seen too much of this. Oh, yeah, we shouldn't have seen... Jesus. These two are obviously smaller than this. This one I actually think is pretty decent sized. To be honest. It's not that bad. But now I'm thinking. Okay, I guess we'll just have to take the L and just keep it one like here. We'll just have to see this view, right? So it is what it is. I made a mistake. I must own up to it. Wait, don't get me wrong. The songs are very nice. It's fun. It's definitely a fun. I'm not fucking backpedaling. I don't give a shit if people think my opinion is wrong. But yeah, it's a fun show. Nothing against it there. But it's not my type of, fun movie. But that's literally it. There's some things I liked. There's some things I didn't like. There's some things I thought were literally just, I don't know, fucking, like tonally the movie was all over the fucking place. Oh, also I hated how her friends reacted when they found out. It's so fucking basic, bro. It's the most basic shit in the world. I couldn't help myself when it was happening. I'm just like, basic. When me and my girlfriend were watching, I ain't about to tell her, like, listen, I'm sorry, but basic. Alright, like, come the fuck on. Like, I hate those types of story beats. We've known you for most of our life, right? But now we know you've been dealing with some shit, but now we found out that the thing you're dealing with is, oh no, it's a no thing. It's taboo. Oh, we don't trust you anymore. It's like, what the fuck? Are you retarded? Are you literally retarded? The answer has to be a mental disability of sorts. Specifically retardation. Oh, I was watching this I was watching this fucking hilarious college humor skit where the doctor tells the guy he's retarded. I remember he's like, are you calling me retarded? He's like, no, I'm diagnosing you retarded. This is so fucking funny. Okay, we're just gonna have to call it there. I'm gonna rest my brain. Yeah, proportion issues still a huge thing, but I think I'm getting better at rotating it on the same plane and ensuring that the horizon line is thought of to the best of my ability. But I could do much better, so I will try my best to do it again. Right, we only have 15 minutes, so let's do what we can. Maybe just make, maybe to make it actually even more, I should just make a really long one because this one, the horizon line is supposed to be on the bottom, right? We'll see. But yeah, let me rest my brain. I keep saying I'm not gonna have this tea, but I just keep taking sips as I rest. GG, it's okay. I have Pepto Bismol on the ready at the side. So when in doubt, just pop a pill. Okay, but I do think I need to be trying a lot harder. I don't think I've been using as much mental energy as I could have. So let's try again. Okay. Maybe this will be a good way to practice proportion as well. Yeah, something like this. We'll make this much larger. And I mean much larger. So this way, it'll be very clear if my proportions are off. Like incredibly clear. Right? Just like that. There you go. I guess it's a house. What the fuck? That wasn't intentional, but I guess it is now. Okay, and it's not as intense of a convergence. Yeah, just something like that. God, I got a fucking fart. Well, my farts are silent, so it's not even a big deal, isn't it? But let's see. Okay, cool. That's my shape that I've established to something. It is something. But now we got to make sure that we can rotate it properly. So again, biggest thing to establish right now is the length. That never changes. It's already a bit smaller, so I'm really glad I'm taking the time to understand this a bit better. Okay. Yes, spatial reasoning go burr, right? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna take as much, I guess, time as I need to hopefully So yeah, the whole memorizing shit went out the fucking window, clearly. But I think that's okay. Right now, the main thing is to understand how these forms change depending on their rotation, right? So that's a bit further out. Okay, so I fucked up the placement of this one. It's off center. Well, you can see that very clearly now. Okay, because it's a bit past. Yeah, see, just a little bit of convergence there. See how my lines are so much cleaner when I'm not doing this angle? But that's just something to consistently work on, right? Always thinking about the vanishing point. That's something I've not been doing, I'll be honest. That's something that keeps slipping my mind. So I'll do my best to continue onwards with hopefully not letting it slip my mind. But let's think. So now we are a bit more intensely outwardly located, like so. So that should be a decent amount longer. There you go, right? Okay, length is being maintained. I just need to keep saying the things to myself, right? Like, okay, vanishing point, horizon line. Keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about it. In time, great movie, by the way. And in time, it will hopefully become more intuitive. Right? But just really have to keep thinking about the vanishing point, horizon line. I don't know if I'm converging this a bit too fast. Maybe I am, but I'm just trying to visualize this as well. Okay, right, so this comes up somewhere here. This comes up somewhere here. Okay, now we can there you go. See, that's not bad. And is it I forgot to wait, no, because we don't see it from this angle. But let's see. It still looks okay. Of course, rotate. I love this exercise. I honestly might, well, not might. I'm definitely gonna do it for at least another couple hours. But this is such a good spatial reasoning exercise, man. It's actually fucking amazing. Holy shit. This is what tells you that you are a bitch when it comes to perspective, you know? And it's great. It's true. I am a perspective bitch. Let's see. There you go. Okay. So again, okay, this was a bit lower, so I shouldn't have done that. I need to start thinking about anchor points for these. But let's see. Right there, right? If I just, yeah, see, it's a bit lower, I think. No, wait, my fucking hand is not even stable. Maybe this is a bit longer than it needs to be. I don't know. Let's try that again. Is that a bit longer, or am I just slightly lower? I'm slightly lower, hopefully. Okay. And then again, this is gonna get a bit longer, right? Yeah, great fucking spatial reasoning exercise. Genuinely great spatial reasoning exercise. Even though it is, I mean, it's not even though, especially because it's difficult. There you go. See, we gotta watch our language too. As Captain America once said, but if you think difficulty is a negative, it will be a negative. But if you view it as a great thing to push your current ability, and that's what it will be, right? What we believe is what things end up being. So we gotta be very careful with our language, because we want to tell ourselves and reinforce to ourselves that challenges are good, right? Challenges are what create growth. And it's not even like, oh, challenges creates growth, fucking yada yada. No, it's objectively true. Objectively speaking, challenge creates growth. So objectively speaking, grow. Deep, very deep, I know. Okay. Not bad. And then again, we'll have like this straight on view, but from the side. And that should be good. I'm very excited. My girlfriend's coming over today. We're going to go to the library, read some. I don't know if anybody remembers The Day My Butt Went Psycho. Not the show. Fuck that shit. Fucking not that gay shit. All right. I'm talking about. Although I actually know nothing about it, but from what I can tell, it's just high octane bullshit. But and that's obviously having only been exposed to it about 8 years ago. As a teenager. Oh no, 8 years ago. Holy fuck. I was an adult. Oh, that's so depressing. But I don't know. I mean, I'm talking about the book series by Andy Griffith, right? This show is based off the book. The Butt trilogy. The Day My Butt Went Psycho, Zombie Butts from Uranus, and Butt Wars, the final saga or some shit. I was at Goodwill a few days ago with my girlfriend, and we found that along with some Animorphs, and I was like, oh, one Animorph, which I already had, so there was no goddamn point. It was 22, I believe. The conclusion to the David trilogy. Oof. Magnifico. The David trilogy is so fucking good. When I draw that, everybody's gonna be losing their shit. Including myself. Including myself. My lines will be equally as shaky because I won't be able to hold the excitement. But yeah, I'm trying to think. But yeah, butt series. Day My Butt Went Psycho. We're gonna go to the library. I'm gonna read that. Maybe she can read something. I think she wants to read something as well. We'll go on a nice walk, right? We might actually read by a trail that's near my area. It's gonna be very nice. It's gonna be very enjoyable, which is why I'm getting some drawing done before she arrives, because she's gonna be here in an hour. It's 10:54. Her bus arrives at 11:56. So, yeah. Anyways, wait. Why the fuck am I resting my brain? I still have one more to do. What am I saying? Jumping the gun there, Biggie. Jumping the gun there, Biggie. Let's see how much time has elapsed. 58 minutes. Okay, yeah. So I'll do this. Hopefully, I can do another one. Elapsed. Right. Just slightly longer as well. This is literally just a square plane. Yeah, I fucking love drawing with a brush pen. I know it's extremely difficult, but it's also really fun to draw with. Oh, that's a bit too drastic. That line is wonky, which is wonderful. And there you go. That's it. That's the only view we get from the side. It's shit. But now we are back. And we can... yeah, we can start doing some things. Right? Like, first... don't want to be too drastic, right? But still, need to establish specific things. This is the part usually at the end, as I'm sure you're all aware, either for yourself or for me, that your brain just dies. It's literally like, fuck you, I'm dying, and then it dies. Right? So that is what we have to keep in mind as we draw this, that your brain will fatigue. It absolutely will fatigue. And that's okay. That's an incorrect angle. That's incorrect for sure. Looks like if you were to look at it head on, it would look like it's slanted a little bit. But that's fine. Like, the fatigue is part of the process, the mental fatigue, the lack of focus, refocusing, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna have a whole video years from, technically, yeah, a couple years from now, where I talk about this whole thing about learning mindset. And it's gonna be called Teaching You Morons. That is the name of the series I have so geniusly come up with. Right? But, okay. I think I've been doing okay with proportion. Not amazing, but slowly but surely, I think I'm starting to get it down. This could be thicker though. Yeah, these things, I made them too thin consistently because it's like trying to that balance between something being smaller when it's at a more narrow angle versus still retaining the proportion, right? But this is great training, so somehow I managed to finish this in an hour, but it's probably because I did this extra shape, this one a lot bigger here, right? So yeah, I hope this all challenged the fuck out of you. I think this ended up becoming the best one. This proportion issues. But honestly, apart from the proportion issues, I'm getting better at, I think, just maintaining the horizon line in the middle and making that seem legitimate, hopefully. This one's a bit off. I know a couple of these are pretty off. This one was okay, but I think my line work could have used work. This one was also okay. This one's probably the best. Maybe because this one was the most simple. And that's good. I struggled a lot. I hope you struggled a lot. Oh god, I have to burp again. Ooh, that was not that bad. That sounded like I sharted instead, so that's pretty good. A verbal shart, as you will. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you all fucking challenged yourself, really had fun, right? Drew along, call to action, all that good shit. So, with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching, keep drawing, and please give me money, thank you.